Hello, beautiful, and thank you for clicking on today's video. Today, we are reorganizing my fridge and my pantry. As you guys know, I've talked about organization here and on TikTok quite a bit, and how I've optimized my organization for my mind and my household. That being said, a huge part of organizing and optimizing is changing it when it's no longer working. And both in my fridge and in my pantry, things are no longer working. Now, if you guys are anything like me, you have probably seen on both Instagram and TikTok fridge restocking videos with the beautifully organized acrylic containers and the beautiful sounds and ASMR. I find that to be too regimented. I don't know about you guys, especially if you have like kids or something, maybe you're buying the same snacks all of the time that fit perfectly into those containers. I don't buy the same stuff like that regimented where I can have just a fridge full of acrylic containers all of the time. That doesn't really work for me. But also having no organization whatsoever is also not working for me because things are getting pushed to the back, forgotten about, wasted. And with inflation and the price of food, that is not working for me anymore. It wasn't really working for me before, but I digress. Anyway, so in the fridge, I'm looking more to compartmentalize. So I want to have a space for like meal prepping where I put all of the ingredients for a given meal in a container. I want to have a space for leftovers so I know kind of what's there. I want to have a space for fruits and vegetables. And then I use the drawers for like meats, cheeses, and some fruits and vegetables, so that'll stay the same. But let me show you what I'm working with now, and then we'll move into the problems of my pantry. So if we look, it doesn't look terribly disorganized, and it's not. It's just suboptimal, if I do say so myself. There's things kind of where they're not supposed to be. There's a bunch of containers holding leftovers. There's just sort of odd balls here, there, everywhere. So for here, I really don't think it's gonna need much. I wanna put up on this top row some containers, that way I can hold meal prep. Leftovers will be sort of here, and then the rest I haven't quite decided yet, but I have an idea in my brain of what I want to do, and I think it's also going to be quite beautiful, if I do say so myself. Moving to my pantry, right now it's going to look like it's working, but I promise you it's not. I'm going to include some footage of earlier in the week when we had just gone shopping. So as you can see, things are relatively organized, but they're just totally overflowing. And this is even after like my low buy. There's still too much stuff. And I really think it's the onset of like all of the dog stuff, because there's dog stuff here, dog stuff there, dog stuff there. So I think if I reorganize this bottom shelf that has the dog stuff, it's gonna be really, really helpful. But I'm also a little bit sick of like everything being in a clear bin because it just looks really full and cluttered. So what I wanna do is optimize this area and this area. As you can see, I took one of the bins out here. I have it right here. This was originally oatmeal and breakfast. And I have it here because it's gonna help me measure what I need, because I want to have bigger baskets, and instead of taking measurements, I'm just going to bring that to the store with me. All of that being said, I do think it is possible to organize like dollar store bins super economically. However, for my current needs in life and what I'm wanting to do right now, I do think that I need to level up my organization a little bit, and I have created a budget for that. So we're probably going to go to TJ Maxx / Home Goods and the Container Store, quite possibly. The type of size of bin I need is kind of specific, so we'll see if I can find it. But at the end of the shopping, I'm going to show you kind of how I'm organizing, what I'm thinking about, and the final results. So let's get shopping. And just like any good minimalist, I'm not going to go shopping blind. I did create sort of a list rubric because I am open to ideas while I'm in the store, but I want to not stray too far away from what I already have in my head. And I'm hoping to get it all for around $150 for both the fridge and the pantry. So let's get going. I am now home, and if you can hear my dog chewing on a Frisbee in the background, I apologize. It is much later in the day, and I've actually lost a lot of light because it just started snowing, the first snow of the season. All that being said, I did not get everything that I needed. So this is gonna have to be a part 2, like a 2-part series, but it'll all be in one video. But I did wanna show you what I picked up and how I'm gonna organize it. And then I'll give you the plan for the rest. So let's get into the haul. So I wasn't able to film in any of the stores that I went in, but that's fine because what would have been shopping content is now going to be haul content. Starting off, I went to Petco, which wasn't necessarily on my list, but I got some training treats for my dog and a Frisbee that he is chewing right now. So that's number 1, unrelated. Number 2, I got mostly everything for the fridge, but almost nothing for the pantry because I wasn't able to make it to the Container Store because of the snow and also just timing wise. That at Home Goods, unfortunately, because you can't usually find like 3, 4 plus of the same bucket when you're looking, I was able to find like 1 or 2 of the little baskets kind of in the size dimension I was looking for, but I couldn't find enough to where it would be cohesive in my pantry. So I skipped out on that. However, I did get some things. So rolling into, so I found these fridge drawers at Home Goods. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, and they were $5.99 for a pack of 2. This, I'm hoping, is gonna be that top shelf that I was mentioning before for like my food prep storage situation. I also got this wooden bowl for specific types of fruits that I keep in the fridge. I wanted something a little bit more pretty, and who says you can't have a wooden bowl in your refrigerator? So I got that at Home Goods as well. In addition to something that was on my list, which is a Lazy Susan for all of the drinks in my fridge. So that's all that. And then this is for the pantry. Underneath, near where I keep the dog food on that bottom level, I have sort of like backups or things that I buy on sale when it's like a 2-for-1. And I wanted something a little bit taller to kind of hold all of that together. This unfortunately came in a 2-pack, so I don't know how I'm gonna use that second bin, but the only other option that I could find for like a 1-pack was double the price. So it kind of just worked out to be better that way. And then the last couple of things, hold on. I got this bin that I'm gonna use for leftovers in the fridge. Yeah, that's that on that. I'm going to wash this stuff and then see how it fits in the fridge, and I'll show you sort of the, it's not really the before and after because I'm not done yet, but I'll show you the before, the finishing point for today, and then the rest will have to be another day, but like I said, same video. So let me get going on that. It has been weeks since the last part of that video that I filmed, and I'm still not technically done, but I am almost done. Here's my list. And as you can see, the only thing left is those larger pantry boxes that I'm going to go to the Container Store today to finally get. But before we go, let me show you what's been going on in my fridge and pantry since the last time we touched base. For you, it's been like 3 seconds, but you know, whatever. So before I open this really quick, I want to explain that right now I have some empty bins in there because I need to go food shopping. What I've been doing is when the bin empties, I put it on the top here, but I put them back in to kind of give a placeholder to show you what my fridge looks like. And it's been working really well. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I see like beautiful fridge organization videos all the time, but it requires you to buy like similar shaped food all of the time, and I simply don't do that. So I needed a fridge that was organized so that food wasn't getting wasted, but there was like a lot of flex room for life. So here's the fridge, and then I'll show you the pantry. Okay, so opening it up, like I said, empty bins. So right here, instead of having all 4, I decided to just have 2 meal preps because we do leftovers so frequently. So I have my 2 meal prep bins there, and then right there is typically where I will defrost meat. Then coming down, I have some flex room. I guess I'm defrosting meat here right now, and then I keep sort of my bigger containers of like food here as well. Again, flex room. Typically, in the summer months, what I intended for this bowl was to be for like fruit that has a peel that belongs in the refrigerator, like plums or peaches, and then a carton of eggs right here. Right now I don't have that kind of fruit because it's not in season, so it's just eggs, some flex room back here as well for soups or yogurts. This is my spinning drinks, works great. Here is where I would keep fruit like berries, but again, out of season, so I don't have any right now. And then this is the leftovers bin, which has been working fabulously. And then continuing on, these drawers that are already established work well for me and my family. It is not where fruit and vegetable just goes to die. So we got vegetables, fruit, and then sauces plus butter. Down here, I have meats and cheeses, and then other snack foods, tofu. This side is strictly condiments and drinks that are just too tall for this space. Not because of this, but this shelf is just a little too low. This is dog stuff, so we have dog peanut butter, dog bone broth, that's low sodium, plus his wet food. And then down here is predominantly alcoholic drinks or just drinks that my husband brings home from work. And that is the fridge. It's been working well. What I also like about this fridge organization is that even when it does get out of sorts, because that happens, it's life, it's very easy to just sort of put it back together within a couple minutes. So onto the pantry here. So as you can see, not much has changed. This bin is what I bought in the last little haul that you saw, and it has been working out better to have this taller bin. Dog food's still here, trash bags and doggy poop bags are still there. Overflow wet canned food goes back there, which works well. This is all working well, I think, still, as is this. It's these shelves that I really want to work on, and I want to have, instead of like separate bins, I want to have 2 bins down here and 2 bins here. I've already created the categories that I want for these bins, and they do make like organizational sense to me. So I have dog stuff, which is going to be supplements, food toy, kind of anything like dog related, right? Then I'm gonna have sweets and snacks in the same bin because that makes sense to me. Then I'm gonna have baking and breakfast in the same bin, nuts, seeds, and grains in the same bin, and I think that'll cover it. So what I'm gonna do is go to the Container Store because I struck out at Home Goods, and hopefully we can finally finish this project today. And because here's the thing, I was debating whether I want to take exact measurements or not. And the thing is, is that I don't think the exact size of what I need is going to be available. So if it's plus or minus like an inch or so, I think that's okay because it'll either give me more or less flex room to be able to pull the bins in and out. So instead of like measuring for exact measurements, what I'm gonna do, because I'm also like a visual person, I can visualize where things go in a space far better than I can like mathematize it. I'm going to be taking one of these to the Container Store, knowing that what I need is approximately 2 of these wide, and like the depth is pretty appropriate. So let's go. The way I thought I was going to be able to afford wooden bins, they were like $45 each for wooden bins that I'm pretty sure weren't even the right size. So we went with plastic, and hopefully they fit. I couldn't find exactly what I was looking for, but I figured if the Container Store didn't have it, it didn't exist. So I got what I think will work well, and we'll see when we get home. It is the next day again, because when I got back from the Container Store, the sun was already down, and then the video quality didn't look very good. And I left them in my trunk because I knew if I brought the bins in, I wasn't gonna do this on camera. So I don't even know if they fit, technically. I hope they do, because they were kind of the best option the Container Store had. So I'm gonna go grab them, and then we'll see together. So these are what I ended up going with. They are not exactly what I had in mind when I went to the store, but for the price and the size, I think they're the best option. Here is the bin that I currently have for reference. They're taller and a little bit longer. I'm gonna see if they fit. I hope they do. Let's first take all of this stuff out of here. Moment of truth. Please fit, please fit. Woo! They fit! Although they're a bit smaller than I thought in width. Let me see what they look like together. So there's a bit more excess on both sides than I originally wanted, but I still think it's gonna work out really well. away, I'm realizing they fit perfectly this direction and a little less perfectly this direction. And I'm not loving how full the bins are because I've had to combine categories. So to push this video off even more, I think I'm gonna get a couple more bins and organize further beyond this. But this is what it looks like right now. I'll live with it for a couple of days before I decide if I want to buy more or not. But because I combined categories, which I originally wanted to do, the bins are just a little bit too full and not very easy to navigate. So the quest continues. So I should only need to buy one, possibly two more bins. Let me show you what I've got. Okay, so starting off, this area is a little bit more cleared because I moved the soups in with the pastas. So here's the organization. This is still gonna be baking. I just need a bin for it. This is nuts, seeds, grains, and oats. This is pasta, grains like lentils and stuff, in addition to soups and soup broth. This is sweets and snacks. This is all dog edible stuff, so like stuff that we put in his food every day, his probiotics in addition to treats. And then this right now is holding dog enrichment equipment, so stuff that we use for like puzzle games and things like that. However, pretty soon we're going to be replacing this with an elevated dog bowl that has a drawer underneath it. So I'm thinking that the enrichment tools can go into that drawer. And then over here, we could do 3 up top and 2 horizontal on bottom. But I haven't quite decided if that's what I want to do yet. So I'll either need 2 more or 1 more, and I will let you know the final product when it's finally done, and then we can end this video. But this is basically what it's looking like, and so far I like it a lot. Bum ba da bum bum bum! This is the finale of the never-ending vlog. Doing this project was supposed to take like 3 days, and it ended up taking like a month. If you can hear crunching in the background, it's my dog. He has a chew that he's working on, so you can probably definitely hear that. But on to the exciting news, the pantry's finally done. You've already seen the finished fridge. The pantry's finally done. The Container Store is like 45 minutes away from me, which is part of the reason this got drug out. But I am ready to show you what it looks like. Kind of anticlimactic if you've been watching the entire video because it's come together piece by piece. But this is what it looks like. Here we have seasonings, that hasn't changed. Here, this hasn't changed much either, just a little bit more like organized because things got to go into these bins. We have baking, nuts, oats, and toppings, pasta, grains, beans, rice, wraps, and soups. It's kind of a big category, but all of those things make sense together. Then we have dog and sweets and snacks, along with the overflow over here, garbage bags, poopy bags, and his dog food. So this is it, all in all. Not too different, but much more functional for me and my family. Thank you so much for watching the end of this video, or to the end of this video. I know it's been a bit of a long journey, although watching this, it probably doesn't feel that long for you. But for me, this video has felt very drawn out. But that is the new organization, and I guess the purpose of this video, not only entertainment, but I wanted to showcase that sometimes when things aren't working anymore, it doesn't take that much to fix it, because it looks relatively the same in both of my spaces, but it's functionally so much better. And with all that being said, I'll see you in a couple days with another video. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you're not already, comment to help the video in the algorithm, and leave this emoji to let me know that you have made it to the end, and I'll see you soon. Bye!